Distinguished guests, principal, ladies and gentlemen, students, I like a handheld mic because I need a bit of exercise. I think my real claim to fame is not those things up there. It's being the only polar explorer in the whole world stupid enough to live in a desert. I live in Dubai for good reason. Tonight's all about achievement, and I'm honored to be at Modern tonight to see really what great things you're doing in the school and to reward the students who have accomplished so much. And I thought I'd spend just the 5 minutes I'm going to speak to you on this word achievement. What does it take us to achieve the maximum that we can possibly achieve in our lives? And when I ask audiences, what did I need to make these things happen? The answers is uncannily similar. Whether it's a board of directors who I'm doing a leadership program for, or a team of junior sales guys, the answers are always determination, focus, hard work, planning and preparation, courage, money, stupidity, those sort of things, and they're dead right. And with my adventure, and I usually say three things to these answers. Firstly, with my adventurous hat on, I say you're dead right. It takes a lot of hard work to do these things, a lot of planning, a lot of determination, and a lot of focus. But the second thing I say is really those qualities are the same for all of us. It doesn't need those qualities to climb a mountain, Mount Everest, or walk to a pole. They're the same if you have them in your own business lives or at school. You'll be a pretty efficient person. And the third thing I say is that you don't need me paying me vast amounts of money to tell you the things that you already know. Sorry. So to me, the real key is what makes us so focused? What makes us so determined? What makes us so driven? What makes us achieve big things? And for me, although I've had a lifetime of achieving a lot of things, there was one catalyst. One thing happened, or a period of things happened, which made the real fulfilling potential happen. Because I only think I've really fulfilled my potential in the last 10 years. And that catalyst was getting into the world of coaching. Now, whether it's coaching, you'll know that personal growth, life coaching, coaching NLP, leadership mentoring, they're all sort of similar spheres. They all really go on the premise that we have such huge potential and we only virtually scratch the surface of it in most of our lives. And you only have to look at some examples. You've probably seen YouTube videos of a guy with no arms and no legs doing the most phenomenal things. Or people who've been given a terminal illness, 1 or 2 years to live, achieving the most incredible things. Or stories around the world of a lady whose child goes under the wheels of a car. He's trapped, or the child's trapped. No one around. Somehow this lady lifts a car with her bare hands to free a child. And the principle is, if we can achieve so much, does it need a crisis to unlock all that potential, or just the tools and techniques to learn from that we can achieve the best we can possibly achieve? And that's what happened when I got into this world starting around 15 years ago. But if I'd learned this at school, I would have done these things far earlier than I did now. What are some of those lessons? Well, I've only got about a few minutes talking to you tonight, but I'll give you three to think about and go away with. Firstly, it's a real discovery of finding out who you are. Now, we all think we know who we are. I'm Jonathan Davis. I'm Rajiv Mistry. But do you really know who you are? Because that's the whole world of this personal growth, is to really, really go deeper inside yourself and find out what drives you, what motivates you, what's your own DNA, what makes you energized, what makes you happy, makes you sad. And that's called your values, our values. It's used a lot, the word, but your internal values. And why is this so important? Well, quite simply, if you set goals that are in line with your values, you will probably succeed. If you set goals that are out of line with your values, the stark truth is you'll probably fail. So with my values, health and fitness, it's ingrained in me. Nature, achievement, being different, freedom, all these values, they're so ingrained, I don't have to think about them. So when it comes to pulling a sled on a beach for 5 hours, it's just part of me. Okay? So I really encourage you to everyone, boys and girls, even parents out here, to really think, what is it that makes myself up? What makes me who I am? The second one is leveraging your strengths and managing over your weaknesses. I left school at 16 with 5 GCSEs, no A-levels. I did a gap year that lasted 7. No A-levels, no degree, and I spent really a lot of my life sort of catch-up, trying to do the things that I didn't learn, instead of focusing on the strengths that I did have. And when I look back in my life, it was when I was really leveraging those strengths, utilize them, that I achieved the biggest things that I've achieved in my life, rather than concentrating on the weaknesses. So it's a growing business movement. Everyone has got strengths. Everyone in this audience has got strengths here. And the secret is tap into these things and make them happen. And the third one really is this thing that's also used a lot called self-belief. You know, how powerful is this thing called self-belief? Well, there was a book written a few years ago, I think 3 years ago, about golf. It was called The 15th Club. And it was about the mind games of golfers. And it had a quote in there about one golfer in particular who was the world's #1 by a long way. And this quote was, "What separates Tiger Woods from every golfer in history is his colossal self-belief. When Woods walked on a course, he knew he was going to win that tournament, and everyone else knew." That was then. What's happened to Tiger Woods now is just phenomenal. Now the world #15, because his self-belief has gone. And it is an old cliche, but you can achieve everything that you want to achieve if you believe in yourself, if you believe you can make it happen. How do you get that self-belief? Well, we've had a few examples tonight. I believe it's tapping back into your values. I believe it's looking at your strengths. And I believe it's looking into a purpose about what are you trying to achieve for the sake of what? 2 questions I always ask. What are you trying to achieve here for the sake of what? And that'll give you a purpose or a vision or a mission. And that drives a self-belief. I'm not doing these silly things, climbing mountains and walking across ice caps and getting records just for the sake of getting records. Look at me. There's a purpose behind it. It's using my strengths, using my values, using a self-belief to make a difference in the real thing that drives me, which is the world of sustainability. A much overused but misunderstood word. So I had the pleasure of speaking to 2 students outside. I can't remember who they were. They asked me, how do you do these things, Adrian? And if you want the 3 answers, the 3 quick answers, is I do it because I like doing it. That's my values. I do it because I'm good at it. That's my strengths. And I do it because I believe I can do it. That's the self-belief. You're all great achievers tonight. We've all got this huge potential. But I say again, do we need a crisis to unlock all this potential, or just the tools and techniques? And that is just 3 of a whole program, a whole world of personal growth. I wish you all the best in finding them. Thank you very much indeed.